Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All right, cool. We got it. We got the sound.
Gye-Nyame, Bombskin & Co. is the true definition of self-care, self-love, and repeat. We are what we create in this life. Bombskin & Co. chooses to create something innovative and unforgettable. Check out our website for more information.
Spirit Over Flesh LLC is a wellness-based business where we heal through words. I'm Tiandra. I'm the founding servant leader. It is a Black-owned, woman-owned business that was founded in Ohio, but that can serve the world. Through virtual sessions, either by phone or video conference, we have a conversation. We always start with a 15-minute consult where we just make sure that I learn a little bit about you, you learn some about me, and then we schedule some time to be intentional about your wellness journey. During the time, it's about education and empowerment. You are your own best doctor from within. So I'm literally someone who is just intentional in the space and drawing questions out of you to get you further on your wellness journey. Sessions are typically starting at $80, but if you mention Kwanzaa 2020, we're going to go ahead and take 20% off. It's about getting you well so that we can be well, right? Kujichagulia and Ujima, collective responsibility. So grateful for the opportunity to support you in your wellness journey. If you're interested, go to my website, spiritoverfleshllc.com. There's a button that says Let's Connect. Fill out the form, and I'll get right back to you. Again, that's spiritoverfleshllc.com. I look forward to supporting you in your wellness journey and healing through words.
Are you heading out of town or have a special occasion? What about birthdays, anniversaries, or reunions? Get the best deals and inexpensive rental car rates, mid-size sedans, compact cars, and more. We have a variety of fleet vehicles to accommodate any and all of your rental car needs. Make a reservation today at your local budget rental car on Hamilton Road in Whitehall. Call 614-863-7500.
Happy Kwanzaa. I'm Carla, and my sister Karen and I own Two Natural Sisters. We've been in business for 5 years, and we sell a line of natural bath, body, and candle products. Let's take a look. Follow us on social media, Facebook and Instagram, at Two Natural Sisters. All items that are in stock will be shipped within 24 to 48 hours. As a promotional item, we offer a CD of Black romantic poetry of self-love and coupled love, and 50% discount on Sister Locks, Brother Locks by consultant Sapphire Donetta Mahadi. If you have any questions, you can reach us at customer care at twonaturalsisters.com. Enjoy and happy Kwanzaa.
What's going on? My name is Doe. I am the owner and creator of Madeline Gin. Madeline Gin is best described as a celebratory art experience that exudes hella blackness. Initially, the company was founded to provide a luxurious but affordable art experience, and it's since transformed itself into something a bit more spiritual. By walking in what I believe to be my truth, I've been able to get in contact with my ancestors and use my platform and my art, my gift, to tell their untold stories. I do that by using different textures, by utilizing different mediums, colors, and just making things pop out so that it's open for interpretation. I love creating, and I can't wait to be of service to you. Thank you.
I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors have made me a genius in all that I think, say, and do. I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius. Whenever I am myself, I practice my geniusness and do great things. All my thoughts, choices, and deeds must express my geniusness.
I am a genius. My decisions must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God. Only then will I and everyone I know that I am a genius.
I am a genius. At all times, my geniusness must reflect my culture. My geniusness must serve my God. My geniusness must make me be one in love and harmony with my family. My geniusness must protect my people. Yes, at all times I must demonstrate excellence because I am a genius.
The Purpose Driven Society is a Black-owned, woman-owned business local to Columbus who creates accessories that have intentional messaging. Our specialty are buttons. Buttons can be worn anywhere, on a shirt, on a book bag, on a hat. The beautiful thing about buttons is that you can change them and switch it up depending on your mood or the day. For election day, we wore a very intentional button. On my book bag, or my student's book bag, it says, "You are already intelligent, educate yourself." Buttons are empowering with the messages that we create. Again, we do them very intentionally. At the Purpose Driven Society, we're minding our Black-owned business and hope that you'll help mind ours too by doing business with us. Our buttons go for $3 for one, $5 for two, $7 for three. But if you mention Kwanzaa 2020, we're doing a special where you'll get an assortment of buttons for just $20, and we'll ship anywhere in the country. So again, that's the Purpose Driven Society. We can be reached at thepurposedrivensociety@outlook.com. Send us an email, and we will put together a very intentional bag of buttons for you and ship it straight to your home. Happy Kwanzaa. Thanks for doing business with us.
Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Gye-Nyame journey. See some of the stuff we do. Come and join the tribe. Tribe up with us and check out the free e-course. We'll make sure that the URL pop up right about here. And it'll probably be somewhere in here. Check us out, family, because we are building. Come and learn about Gye-Nyame journey, and let's build together. What is a lion without his pride? What is a whale without his pod? What is a monkey without his troop? What is a wolf without his pack? The answer is very simple. They are the same thing that a human being is without a tribe. Pray.
Women, but the most important goddesses were black, not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greek. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans.
Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey.
City was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black
Hatim not here yet.
Minerva. The goddess
Still
of
laying down in
was a
bed.
black woman,
Thought we'd start the show without him.
And many of their great mythological figures which were
He's still struggling with this whole shooting thing. Don't understand. He's confused.
Who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew.
We're going to open up the lines. We're going to have us a conversation. Toast and talk for real, y'all.
On the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the golden fleece is a black
Get the book and support the organization. What you waiting for?
marries Perseus, the Greek hero.
Oh, it's time to grab your glasses, family. It's time for us to get started. I'm so excited. Sitting up here, Kid Magic Rock. Shots out. Here we go. Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, then drink. Take a breath, take your breath. Now, grab your glass for some water. Grab your glass. Lift your pitcher of that water. Or bottle. Get that pitcher of that water. Simply pour some water. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Move your body. Move your body and drink some water. Move your body.
Move your body and drink some water, fam. Just move your body. Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your
Or should
water.
I say, move, then drink.
Move your body. Move your body.
Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your
Or should
water.
I say, raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath.
Lift and pour yourself some water.
Pour.
Move your body, drink some water.
Move it.
Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. But remember to stay healthy. Remember the four pillars. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Drink half your weight in ounces.
Eat a culturally appropriate diet.
Behave. Take your breath.
Come on.
Lift and pour.
You can do it.
Move your body.
Come on. Come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink up.
Come on. Drink it. Drink it. Drink it. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Drink it. Lift it. Drink it. Come on. Drink that health in.
Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your water.
Take your breath.
Take your breath. Take your breath.
Lift and pour.
Lift it.
Move your body.
Come on. Come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink. Drink your water. Drink, 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 drink.
Come on. Come on.
Drink your water. Take your breath. Lift and pour.
Come on, pour it.
Move your body.
Move.
Toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink.
What?
Drink your water. Drink, 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 drink. Drink your water. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I keep having these days where I don't want to do nothing. Woke up this morning in a funk. I'm like, I don't believe it. Everywhere I go, I'm having conversations. And it's like I almost got to be quiet because I be listening to some of the shit that people be saying. And I be like, I don't believe that this shit is coming out their mouth. Why? Why me? Why me? God, why me? You know, I mean, we got a lot to talk about. I'm opening up these lines, family. Now, we had this young lady that due to unfortunate circumstances beyond her control, her life was thrown into chaos. And in reacting to this chaos, something terrible happened to her. In responding to this chaos, surrounded by adults, this young lady was removed from the living. This young lady lost her life. And it has been bothering me because of the discussion that's surrounded. Because in Gye-Nyame, we talk about honor, loyalty, and sacrifice. And I have to operate in honor above all. I got to be honorable. Honor shares a root with honesty. Hone, in a sense. To hone. You know what I'm saying? When you hone something, you sharpen it. You make it better. You know what I'm saying? To hone it. home, honesty, honor. They share. And I'm not seeing honesty flowing from the family. I see people hurt and responding. I see people in denial and responding. I'm seeing people in trauma and responding. But what bothers me about all this is the lack of courage behind all of it. To actually have the conversation about what went down. What went down over there on the street named after site. And it's been heavy on me. I found, listen, last night I fell into a funk because I would get on my Instagram timeline or get on the Facebook timeline and do my quick check-in because I don't stay on those things. I'm trying to figure out how they work so I can make them work for us. That's my whole goal. And I'm seeing posts about she was only a baby. Murder. Rather than having a real discussion about the situation. And looking at the lessons in which we can go on to make sure nothing like this ever happens again on our side. On our side. So I want to open up after we do this toast. I want to open up the line so that we can have real discussion. And you don't have to agree with me. You could think that it was murder. You can call in, but if you get crazy, please realize this is the Daily Toast. Now on Blunt Talk, that's Navita's. You see, she sits center there. She decide who talks, who don't. That's her show, right? And I respect that on most occasions, and I try to shut up when she wants me to be quiet. But right here on the Daily Toast, different equation, right? But let's have this discussion. We need to have this discussion. We need to have this conversation, family, because it is so many things that touched me, that hit me about this young lady's passing. And it was so many factors that basically that was leading this young lady to doom going on in her life. I seen images from her Instagram posts playing music that a young lady that our children should be listening to. And people hyping it up like, yo, she was only a baby, y'all. But the song talking about straight fucking. I don't understand. When babies start listening to that shit? What is going on in our community that we can't look at some shit and be like, yo, that's fucked up. Yes, I hear about the excessive force, and I hear all this shit, but I cannot allow us to walk down the path of justifying fuckery and bullshit and bitchcraft. This is one of the things that I've been arguing against for a very long time. And for me to sit up here and have to sit up and lay in the goddamn bed all day, I couldn't even focus my mind to even have. I'm at this point in time, I don't even want to do Juneteenth because I feel that I'm bringing a bunch of irrational, non-thinking motherfuckers together, and anything could happen. This is where I'm at this point in time. I am so frustrated. I am so frustrated that we could justify bullshit and don't have the courage to look at the goddamn tape and say what's going on. Yes, it was excessive force. 4 bullets, but when you train a motherfucker to kill, to shoot at black targets every day, and to shoot in small groups, and to shoot in bullet bursts, what do you think gonna happen? When we call them into our goddamn neighborhoods, what are we doing to prevent from being able to have to call these motherfuckers into our neighborhood? What are we doing to keep our babies up out the system? This young girl was in a foster home. And being somebody who ran a foster home with young people that nobody else wanted to take and everybody else was scared of, I already know what that. I never called the goddamn police to my house. Even when guns and other shit was involved, even when because I already knew where it was going. I don't call the beast unless I know and I have to. Somebody about to die when you call them. And we can't be honest with ourselves. We can't look at the film and see the young girl runs out in front of the police. And look, there is film now where there was already police on the scene when she ran out with the knife before the guy even got there with the goddamn gun. The one that pulled out the gun, that car was the second car on the scene. So now if you got an issue, you could go, you might be able to legitimately have an issue. You already have police on the scene, but that didn't stop her. What was going through the child's mind? That she thought it was okay after the police got there to do what she did. And what is going through our mind? Well, we got a whole segment of individuals that live in Columbus, Ohio, that can justify that shit. What do we got going on? We need to discuss our crazy. We need to step back. We need to have a conversation about our crazy, because this right here is crazy. We got crazy kids. We got crazy ass adults, including me. I'm including myself. We need to have a serious conversation around Juneteenth, right? I'm not, we could do it some today, but we need to bring some experts in the room and stream somebody having discussion with us about our crazy. Because we got a unique crazy, right? A crazy that could look at a goddamn reality and try to convince everybody around them that what you're seeing is not what you're seeing. And you're wrong for even thinking that you're seeing what you're seeing. You're a coon if you see what you see. Well, fuck it, I'll be a coon then. And I dare you to call it to me in my face. Then I get to unleash the crazy. But I'm going to stop when the police come. Believe that shit. Because police will be called. But anyway. It's just, it don't make no sense to me. I'm sorry. So I was sitting up here like, I don't even want to do the toast today. I really, because I'm gonna say some shit and I'm going to make some enemies. But then it got to a point where I got to do the toast, so I really don't. And some of the people that might become enemies might have been enemies in the first case because they don't know what they doing and they don't have the courage to be honest. So do I really need them around me? Do I need them around me? The worst thing in a battle is to have somebody on your side that overestimate their ability and lie about their ability and lie about what they see. Because if they are a scout and they go out and they underestimate the enemy and they overestimate what you have and they tell you that it's all good and you roll down into the battle, but you outman, out-machine, out-technologized and all that and get your ass beat, we need people who could really see there's no way we're going to win this. outside of my eye. There's no way we're going to win this outside of my eye. And what I'm trying to be, and all I'm trying to say is with us, we have to be honest with us. I don't even see people having a private conversation. The baby was in foster care. It's a possibility that the dude that was on camera was this baby's father. And what do you mean dude was on the camera? The first thing that caught my sight, family, listen to me. First thing that caught my sight, outside of the shooting, because y'all already know I ain't even like looking at shit like that. But I heard, and I said, boom, I got the, because boom, this might be it. This might be it. Right? This might be it. Now, let me tell you another reason why. In my favorite movie, The Spook Who Sat by the Door, the whole revolution was sparked off by somebody getting shot that wasn't contributing to anything. It happened before it was supposed to happen. Which moved the timetable up. You had a nigga doing some dumb shit that ended up getting killed, that caused the whole revolution to spark off. And I, for one, is like, this ain't it. But damn. Bruh, it comes back to being able to trust those who are supposed to have your back. Got to. So I mean, and it's like, yo, family, you know what I'm saying? Send out like, share. We about to have this conversation. I'm going to do this toast. You let them know. Let the new people know that I run my mouth. Then I do the toast, and I'm going to say a whole bunch of names. It's going to sound like I'm rapping but not rhyming. And then we're going to open up the lines, and we're going to have us a toast and talk. We're going to have us a little family talk, public family talk. The other shit, if we need to have a private space where we could go and digitally do it, because we ain't going to be able to do it in person, because I know how some of y'all are. Right? I know the crazy. I lived with the crazy for a very long time. And I lived with those that people knew not to get crazy with as well. So, we know the crazy only goes so far, right? We know that the crazy is an act. You know what I'm saying? But it was so many things. It was so many ways that we failed this young lady. If we going to call her a baby, I'm not calling her a baby that died in their hands. I'm using baby in reference to where we failed her. I couldn't imagine. Every time I hear a young person's name as being shot or hurt or murdered out there, I have to run to the TV and try not to watch, especially when it's in Columbus, because this might literally be one of my babies. At any given time, 2,000 or so of my babies are wandering around these streets. And they all got strange names. So I hear Michaela, I'm like, oh shit. Oh, well, hold on. Oh. And it's not a relief that is not, because she one or two people removed from me already know this. Somebody in my life is connected to this young girl that died, and my heart goes out to you. But I also need the truth to go out to you as well, because it's something somewhere, somehow, that we're failing when the father could be present and be screaming, you shot my baby. But you were spending more time kicking the woman that fell to the ground rather than jumping and tackling the police officer, jumping in front of the motherfucking bullet. What? That's a testament to our manhood. Nobody seeing that shit? I was busy kicking a bitch when I should have been kicking the shit out the pig. When I should have been jumping in front of the bullet. May I burn in hell forever if I stand and let a motherfucker put a bullet in my baby. that same time that man there was doing that, he could have been stopping that girl. And nobody brings that shit up. Nobody. Where is our personal responsibility? Where is our love for each other? Police on the scene, police on the scene, police on the scene. When police are on the scene, that's when we supposed to pull together, and all those that are doing the right thing need to be trying to calm those down. And I know some of us going to be like, it shouldn't have to be like that. But it is like that. Bro, I tutored a young sister with the same name as the sister who was shot, so you can only imagine what's going through. That's what I'm saying. I had at least 3 of them. At least 3. That was a popular name during in that age grade. And it's a testament to what's going on in our families that baby was in foster care. It's a testament of what's going on in our families that there are even such things as foster homes in our community. Listen, I grew up, my grandmother, although my grandfather bought the house, it was my grandmother's house. I remember my grandmother having 3 bedrooms on the 2nd floor, 2 bedrooms in the attic. My grandmother had to support 3 to 4 generations in that house. She even had outside family, extended family members come up in the house, and a lot of us had those type of families. What happened to us? What? I'm laying in bed wondering what in the fuck, what happened to us? I can't even wrap my mind around a Juneteenth right now. I'm sitting up here like it's one thing for it to be theoretical, and it don't be. But when it get this close to home, I have to sit down and be like, what is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? Brother Kwame saying, and recall the story about the young king on our ancestral list whom Brother Rashid brought to us. That's right. Foster care. Foster care. And, and like I said, shouts out to those who are willing to do it, because that is, like I said, and once I heard that shit, being an ex foster care parent, or being somebody who worked with young people like that, all bets are off for it to be because eventually we're going to get the whole story. But it's some shit that we're not seeing. It's going to be so confusing. So I don't run and jump on shit. Like, what I'm saying? Be like, oh, this is what, no, hold on. As soon as I heard, okay, cool. We have one person who has probably spent the last few years raising other people's children, getting connections with other people, who is taking on this generation of young people. So Lord knows what happened, because, like, for example, in my house, I would say that 3 different groups, because I can't even say generation, because they all was born close to each other, but you could see shifts in the generations. There was ones that came in that was similar to us. By the time I was about to get up out of it, it was a total difference. That it was so different that the 19-year-olds would come in my house and look at the 15-year-olds and be like, Pop, you need to stop doing this shit. Pops, you need to stop doing this shit, because either you or us, me, somebody going to jail. It's a big difference. So I can only imagine a woman that might even have her own kids, or a man who might, or a family dear that might even have their own kids, and somebody is possibly doing some shit in their house. We don't even know what the fuck was going on. Why didn't somebody grab her when she came out the house? See, it's a lot. You know, like I said, family, it's crazy. It's crazy. And we're crazy. We need therapy. We need to actually sit down and talk about our crazy. We got to talk about it. We got to unleash it. We got to be honest about it. We got to heal from it. We got to throw it on the table and at least be able to admit, yeah. You know, because one of the things I'm constantly talking about, yeah, I'm crazy. I know that I'm crazy. But before we go on, let me give you a second. I need a second. Give me a second real quick. Because this is weighing on me right now. I need to.
I praise God as I rock the mic, come on. I praise God as I rock the mic, say what? I praise God as I rock the mic, come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. What situation is pitiful? Blackness is critical, defining our race and mind, not political. I'm striving with force to keep us on course, using the pyramid builders as my main source. Our children will guide us, with ignorance behind us, removing the shades that once had blinded us. So off to the crossroad, straight for my black coat, communing with brothers. Straight from my Mac code, I step in as God with the mic as my ride, helping to raise the black children, they go from a pie. I enter as I'm a tap, exit as shimmer tap. Now that you know what's up, make sure you watch your step. I rise with the sun, it's a new day begun. Off the walk on my path, in search of the one. I'm looking for unity, not for no casualties. By working together,
we stand for humanity. I work with what's given. I'm far beyond 7 bloods, and no one realizes that you the secret 7. All right, family. That old music, old man music, old time hip hop, old album. Damn, we used to call them albums back then. That was I Praise God off of the Raw album, Real Africans. But anyway, you know, we're about to do these libations, but then I'm going to open up these lines so that people can call in. We can have some conversation or argue and yell at each other, fall out. You know what I'm saying? Do what we need to do during these times, family. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important that above all, you know what I'm saying? Regardless, I'm so sick of people touching my stuff. And when I say people, I mean this ain't the Gye-Nyame girls. This that Cleveland Brown. Just be touching my stuff for no reason at all. I mean, I got stuff set up in a certain way. I don't mess with none of his settings or anything, but he just keep touching everything. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I ain't even mad at him. I ain't even mad at him. See, young Cleve, when Cleve took his, Cleve was, where my headphones go? Now I lost the damn headphones. There they go. Hold on. When Cleve went through his rights, so Cleve, you know, he's 16. Cleve went through his rights at about 14 years old. At least that part moving him to where he become the warrior rank, right? He a brother, you know. So my wife don't understand that, you know. I have to deal with Cleve. Cleve is my son. Yeah, boom, I glad all that. But Cleve is a brother in Gye-Nyame, right? Cleve is official, like, man type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I got to give him certain liberties and shield him from certain things as far as the family. Because Cleve is a brother. He did what the fuck he's supposed to do. But during his initiation, Cleve had a run-in with a raccoon. And I think that the spirit of the raccoon is on my son. I mean, I'm like, I see his grandfather, but then also you mix Cecil Ellis with a raccoon, and god damn, I be like, oh my god. So it's like, yo, the world better get ready. Let's just say that. I know people like, you call her Cleve a coon? No, I said a raccoon. His name is Cleven, Cleven. Still need to get that ramen recipe from Cleve. Yeah. All right, family. So I got the coffee, but we really need to. We're gonna rapatate about this. Raccoons are a hot, scary mess, and they very intelligent and very dangerous. They're basically mini bears. That's all they are. You know what I'm saying? Raccoons are super, and they will rob you and bite you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. And that's, that spirit. I think he left them woods with that spirit. I'm sitting up there like, oh shit. I mean, like a coyote could have came, or a wolf, but we was in the, no bears or nothing. But he had an encounter with a raccoon. So anyway, let's see. We are dealing with bobcats here in North Carolina. Damn. Well, I'm glad that bobcat ain't. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he made it with a raccoon, so maybe he might have been able to survive a bobcat. You know what I'm saying? And when you go through your thing, you sitting out there like that, you have your experiences. I have mine. Cleve had his. Some of the other young people, maybe they could talk about their encounters on those late nights by themselves, with the only protection you have is your ancestors. Oh man, the good old days pre-COVID, being able to go to the woods. We're going to the woods this year, family. But yeah. So we are re-strategizing for Juneteenth. Still some shit going down. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, at this point in time, like I said, I don't know. I'm losing the faith. I was joking last night. I said, shit, I put my application in at the white union. They said no. You know what I'm saying? I put my application in at the Asian union. They were like, hell no. The Hispanic and Latino union was like, they was a little bit slow with it, but they said, no, bruh. But Eskimos told me that if I could make it to the North Pole by midnight, I have to make it to the North Pole, and I'm still thinking about it. I could be an Inuit. They'll let me in the Inuits, but I got to make it to the North Pole by because it's it's like you look at certain things and you be like, damn, no, black folks, no, this is not what I wanted. Like, damn. She said, you need to get to stepping. I ain't gonna make it, and I don't do good in cold weather. So, Inuit is out. I'm not gonna be an Inuit. I'm stuck. I was born a black man, and I'm gonna die a black man. But every now and then you just be like, is there an escape from this shit? Cause we can't be this. We just playing. Sometimes you can't help but to look at some of the shit that our people be doing and be like, this is a joke. Somebody somewhere is joking. There's somebody with some type of fake Instagram or Facebook account that, we think is real, but they just playing. This ain't real. This ain't real. You know what I'm saying? It's not real. But then you start really realizing, you start looking, I just ate dinner with this mom. This is real. This is real. I was just sitting across from them, and they looked at me. And because sometimes you could be talking to somebody, and it be so far off that you have to reach out and touch them to make sure it's not is this a hologram? It's got to be a hologram. Because you ain't. I'm just saying, family. I'm just saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. But let's go and do it. Let's do our toast. And I'm going to open up the lines because, I know y'all tired. So I got me some more of that fresh ambrosia. Me and Cleve about to mix up some batches real quick. And then I think I'm going to sit down and veg out and watch a whole season of Doctor Who. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that traveled through time and deal with, just I need to escape. I need to just escape, Right now I'm drinking coffee out of one of those Gye-Nyame cups. Got my warrior in training cup. You see the Gye-Nyame symbol on there. Got our pledge on the back. Yes, Lord. Had to drink coffee at 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon to get up because I was like, man, this ain't living. No. All right, here we go. Before we move into that, first off, I want to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority. And you got to be stubborn to deal with this shit. The stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I am your host, Brother Hatim, and of course this is the Daily Toast, but right now we're calling it Toast&Talk Kuumba, and it's a Heart of a Simple production. All day, every day, where we strive to blow up your old paradise. Let's get it moving. First off, we want to lift up our glass. Yes, we do. We want to lift up our glass to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. Woo, ambrosia. Whatever name you choose to call that Creator, lift up our glass. We salute that Creator. And we lift up our glass. We say our word of power. The word of power we use here is we say, Ashe. Where you at, Anime? Come on now. Where you at? Thank you. From there, we move to our list of our ancestors. We lift up our glass and we salute our personal ancestors. Yes, Lord. And for those that are new, if you have ancestors that you want to throw onto the list, by all means, feel free to do so. Put them up in the discussion tab or whatever that is and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or inbox us on one of our medias, catch us on Facebook, catch us on Instagram, catch us on YouTube. Just send us a message. We make sure we get it. And we got you, right? So we're going to lift up our ancestors, and here we go. I'm going to try to go as far as I can. Of course, then I grab the paper. Some days I go far, sometimes I don't. So here we go. Taking my breath. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert the Texana, Davis, Herm Brown, C. Rosalie Tiller, Georgia, William Walton, Christopher Gaston, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland Brown. Not Cleveland, y'all know. My grandfather, I just found out, my mom just called me and let me know that today is Cleveland Brown's birthday. My grandfather's birthday. What's the date today? Yes, he was a Taurus, 424. So yes. We want to get an ancestor Cleveland Brown a round of applause. Then my grandfather's birthday. Anyway, let me start over. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert the Texana, Davis, Herm Brown, Sr., Rosalie Tilly, Georgia, William Walter, Christopher, Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis of our Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twigs, Wash Ellis, Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tapper, John Falar, Montague Pittman, L, Normal X, Sapet, Mount Rob, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, the Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Actor Jr., J. Edwards, Carla Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling Lucy, right there, girl, pulling and Lux, the brothers, Miss Ida Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jared Brunson, Miss Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Jennifer Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Anna Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Grinneman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lewis Henderson, Kevin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Meldale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mitchell Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Augusto Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodore Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Linda Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thorne, Pearl G. Thorne, Nada Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornegger, Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther, Keisha Reese, Linda Watson, Hammonds, Gerald Giles Watson, Spell, Slimmy, Seven Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Percy Moore, Mitchell, Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Heather Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Banks, Jermaine Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles Thornton, Frankie Quails, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quails, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hadley, Vesta, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb Rosemary Martinero, Don Mattel, Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs, the second Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brendan Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carlos Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dilly Monares, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan. We have William Walter West, Nigel Players, Elder Basiji Falani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Elise Waters, Jeffrey Designs, Honest Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scanner, Barry Wilson, Haley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Cameron Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee, Print Up Jr., Miriam Johnson, Will Belongmeyer, The Candy, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Mark Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles D. Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Naylon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Pinch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Akabuki, also known as Gypsy. We got Reverend Roosevelt Word, the first Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson, Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Dorr, Mina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2, Gibson, Donald Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Harriet Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Axe Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Nitty Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mae Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heap Sr., Albert Moore, Vanilla, Miss Vanilla. Oh man, we were so close. Man, hold on, we somewhere in here. So we did all of these. We somewhere down here. I'm gonna get it. And so you know, because I ain't going to make it easy for these young people to come up into the Daily Toast and just take it over. They going to, you know what I'm saying? They going to have to really do something to impress y'all. They going to have to do some memory acrobatics to really, really outshine me. So we stopped at Albert Moore, Leroy Q. Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla Alberts, Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Urchin Houston, led Alls. I got to remember that. So, but now, one of the keys that I use when I'm doing this is because I know who ancestors these, I know certain people's ancestors, right? So there's certain groups where I'm able to identify the ancestors by who, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I know who ancestor Miss Vanilla, Alice Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, right? Douglas Thompson, Earleton, Houston. Now, but then Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls here in West Staten. I know who that is too. So what that tells me is where they are on the list and as far as how they were listening to Gye-Nyame Journey and when they came in, because a lot of this is time stamped in my mind. Right? It's crazy. But anyway. Here was Staten, Joe, Jamel, Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Greenbed, Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Remy Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, J.C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Captain Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Captain Anthony, Ruth Brown, Charles Walker, Charlie Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Mark Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robert Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekel Maha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lloyd Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Alvin, Mansfield Cooper, George Swan, Emmanuel Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Evans McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. So I know some of the people who ancestors those are. But anyway, let's move to the black list. We got the black book. We got Joella Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis. We got Edward Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang, Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Talbot, Stina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady Abraham, Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross, Riggins, DeMonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McKill, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton. We got Leonard Jones, Sade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr. We got Elder Clarence Luck, Elizabeth Johnson, Mr. Thornton, Johanna, Jasonda, Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Al Alti, Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James, Randolph Giles. Have to pause. Sonny, because I still not have found out why this man is on my ancestor list, but he doesn't have a last name. That's all that's there, Sonny. I'm going through the list. It's like everybody else got a last name except Sonny. So I got to pause. Sonny. Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem M. Coma, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, also known as Dr. Kareem Mackey, Victor Bowden, Trisilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Wood, T.L.R. Woods, Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Ann Wright, Richard Dorsey, Annie Simpson, Jamar Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Eddie Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnella Willis, Ethel Lane, Samantha DeMond, Ethel Marshall. We got Steve, Dougie Shelton. We got William Bill Walker, Carl Rico Johnson, Kim Gray, Stuart A. Johnson, Edward Young III, Isaac Jackson Sr., Drusilla Merle, Wayne Young, Christina Young, Thomas Young, Frank Merle, Sylvester Foster, James, and Lizzie Winston, Neighbor, Julia Lawrence, Ozell Ellis Sr., Gladys Corporal, Ozell Ellis Jr., Geneva Jackson, R.J. Lacey, also known as Toot to Don, Sabre Winston, Chris Kinney, Margaret Mentor. We got Mary Smith, Juanette Florine Stitt Gibbs, Carl William Duncan Jr., Janet Callahan, Danny Hill, Miko D. Nicey, Andre Martin, Mabel Williams, Terry Brown, Teresa Biddle, Lavonna Kincaid, Carla Sawyer, Reverend Jesse Porter, Deacon Ezekiel Dennis, Brenda Porter, Greg Lee Jones, Granny Beulah, Papa Al Reese, Inez Smith, George Gamble Sr., Joseph Gale, Lashonda Jamal, Leroy Riley, Mona Yolanda Honey, Yvonne Patrice Turner. We got Herman Reeves, Monda Reeves, Josh Reeves, Lena Kate, Pam Johnson Vera, and Reese Fisher, Jerry Jossa McCallum, also known as Mama Moon. We got Sheila and Lee, Panchita Alba, Donna Brooks, Barbara Mozart of Spate, and Ira Branson, Eric Winston. We got Darren Bridges, Francisco Matisse, also known as Sonny, Charles Stevenson Jr., King Pleasant, Sarah Keat, Lena Shepard, Bert L. Woodland, Mabel Haskins, Wilbur Shepard, Dennis Jackson, William Haskins, Geraldine Jackson, Henry Jackson Sr., Edward Jones. We got Leslie Travis, Charlize Barnes, DeJuan Lewis Taylor, Madeline Yates, June Dandridge, Daisy Wilfork, Frederick Smith, James Amanda Baldwin, Linda Williams, Sally Williams, Vivian Stevenson. We got Irene Harris. We got Callie Williams, Abu Scales, Pat Williams, Miss Bertha Walker, Tony Ogletree, Grandma Marguerite. We got Tracy Emery, Hassan Abdul Razak. And we got Vivian Johnson. Family, we have done it again. Oh man, we lift up our glass and we salute each and every last one of our ancestors. And I will tell you this, in this book, I got all of the ancestors connected to the people who signed them up. And in my files, I could connect all of these ancestors to the people that gave them to, most of them, not all of them. And in my mind, a lot of them, I know who they belong to, right? You know, or who belong to them. But anyway, so we lift up our glass, we salute our ancestors once again. I mean, we on a 5-year spree, and I almost blew it because I'm down in my feelings. I was feeling bad. I said, nah, I don't even want to do the toast this today. But so I said, get up, boy. Grab your glass. Get off your ass and grab your glass. And raise it up and salute those ancestors upon whose shoulders we are standing. And we say, Ashe. From there. Late, but okay. Thank you, Anime. Good job, girl. All right. Y'all thought I was going to show you Anime. I just, I can't pull the curtain. Yeah, nah. Nah, I can't let y'all see because y'all be terrified if y'all see Anime. But anyway, from there, family, we move on to the present moment. Right now, we are on Kuumba, and I'm going to ask each and every one of you, as I do every day, to seek out Kuumba. All day you had, the day is almost over. We're going to be moving into the night, but you still got time to seek it out. And if you already part of Gye-Nyame, you've already been seeking it out. Family, every day we got to find a way to find our principles, right? We got to find our principles in the moment. Right now, Kuumba is somewhere dancing around you, and you can't see it because you get caught up like I got caught up today in the bullshit in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Attention is the new currency. Attention is the new currency. Why they got our attention? They're able to. So we need to control where our attention goes. So I'm asking each of you to fire up that reticular formation within your brain and seek out your principle. The principle today is Kuumba. For those that don't speak the language and don't understand, we in Gye-Nyame have claimed the week, and we proudly let people know what the days are for us. We don't call the days what everybody else call them. We use our principles to break down the days. Right? Because the days belong to us. They are ours. There was no other person upon the days before us. We discovered the days. You know what I'm saying? And we just took them over. We colonized the days. For lack of a better term, we colonized the days. We took them and we made them ours, and we made them work for us. Right? For those that don't understand what's going on, all you got to do is take yourself over to freegnjecourse.com. That's freegnjecourse.com, and you can understand what Brother Hatim is talking about. Start using the tools that we use in Gye-Nyame to go on and make improvements in your personal life. But anyway, for those that don't know, Kuumba means creativity. The modern principle of the day is order. Orange is the color, as you can see by my shirt. Now, this is the Orange Daily Toaster. I'm gonna make these available again so that people could get them, so that you can wear the color of the day. But you know what I'm saying? If you are not a Kuumba baby, you cannot go out and get, you shouldn't get their shirt. You understand what I'm saying? If you're not a Kuumba baby, if you're not an official Kuumba baby, you should leave that for the Kuumba babies, right? Orange is the color, cause and effect is the Hermetic law. Male name for the day is Kwame. Female name is Ama. All right? Shouts out to all. We want to give all of the Kuumba babies a round of applause. Oh, almost took a sip. But we lift it up and we salute all of our Kuumba babies. We salute this moment of Kuumba, and we pledge to use it to build something powerful and lasting for our future generations. And we say, Ashe. CeeLo was saying near baby in the house, but you a day late, baby. You don't be trying to shine on the Kuumba babies day, because they'll jump on you. There's a couple Kuumba babies in the chat, and they get kind of aggressive about these days sometimes. Just let you know. So we move on. And we move to our future generations. We lift up our glass. We salute our children, our children's children on to infinity. And with that, we say, Ashe. From there, where do we go? Move from the future. We move into all of our relations, and we lift up our glass and we salute our relations and we say Ashe. From that moment right there, from all of our relations, families, that special libation that goes out there to those that may be mourning, to those that may need healing, to those that have some type of struggle, that are within our families, our tribes, our extended family, our extended tribe. We want to lift up our glass and we want to salute and send that energy out. May it reach them. And we lift up and we say, Ashe. From there, where we going from there, Brother High Tim? It's a very simple journey. From there, we're going to that selfish toast. This for you. Fill up your glass like I filled up my glass with this ambrosia, this young, sexy ambrosia. I got the young stuff with me today. We're going to drink a little bit of the older one. You know what I'm saying? But it's just something about that young ambrosia, right? I could drink a whole, but the mature one, you can't, you got to take your time with the mature one. But the young one, we're about to crush it. But anyway, we lift up our glass. Right? For that selfish toast family, take the time to fill your glass so that you can also fill others' glasses, because we can't continue serving if we're empty, family. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for us to help other people get fixed if we are broken. So you have to take the time for yourself. So I lift the glass up and I ask you the question I ask every day. What is it that you need in this moment to move one step closer to the greater you? Lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. Claim that power of your higher self. Because remember, as we talked about years ago in Gye-Nyame, right? Right? The self. It ain't the self that has the problem. It's the younger you that has the problems in this world. Self already knows what's going down. So the youngest part of you, your personality, is what's running and in some cases ruining your life. All you have to do is call on the power of your true self for answers. I had a young sister say some shit to me that was amazing yesterday. She said, I'm living to protect my future self. I said, what? She said, I'm living to protect my future self right now. But the other people, I said, damn, I ain't even going to go into that. But anyway, so we lift up our glass, that selfish toast, and we say Ashe. From the selfish toast, we lift up that tribe. We got to lift up that tribe. Had a discussion, that accountability group. Who holds you accountable? Right? Who holds you accountable? If there is nobody that can hold you accountable, you have to. We really got to seriously look at you, right? If you're not accountable to anybody, right? Come on now, fam. We matured. We matured past that, because the last 50 years show us that America lied to you. There's no such thing as the rugged individual. They've been lying to you. You think you're a rugged individual when it takes a group, when it takes groups to be able to do great things. There was no singular Pharaoh. Hannibal didn't cross them goddamn mountains by himself. Imhotep didn't build the pyramids by himself. And on top of that, he wasn't the first multi-genius, because how could you be I'm just going to say, who and what did he learn from? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there, right? He didn't educate himself. I'm just saying. He had shit he was drawing on, family. Many of us been lied to. Many of us we're pursuing this unicorn existence, and unicorns are imaginary. Real lives are built up on families and tribes. Real great people You go back, look at Hannibal's history. Look at Amenhotep's history. You look at any of the great individuals that you are interested. Look at their history and look at the amount of people it took to create them. Come on, family. You need a tribe. Find your tribe. Get the building and stop playing these dumb games. Let's start winning. I want to win. You know what I'm saying? I want to win. Lift it on my glass. Say, my tribe. Say your tribe's name. My tribe is Gye-Nyame. Say your tribe name. And we say, Ashe. Last but not least, I want to toast the most magnificent, most powerful, most beautiful, most uplifting, wisest, and the wisest individual in the room. Lift my glass up to you and we say, Ashe. Ashe. On my fault. Where my coffee cup? Ashe. 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 Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. And as we say in Gye-Nyame, cat in. Because this is our thing. Oh, shit. All right, we opening up. Oh, we opening up the lines. The black line is open. The black lines are open. Let me go over there now. Open up these lines. Family, it's time for us to go on and have a conversation. It's time for us to talk about what we... Matter of fact, I hate putting on topics, but call in. We want to discuss your crazy. We want to discuss our crazy. What's your crazy? What's going on with us? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if we was to find a therapist or somebody to come to Juneteenth digitally, what topic, as far as our crazy as a group, should we address? Because there's a lot of crazy. It's a lot of crazy. And I know that the people who really need to hear it won't hear it. See, now, because this is the important piece about nation building, right? Tribe building, family building. If you have somebody that resists and is always against what you're doing, that's not, and it's, how can I put it? In many cases, that may not be your tribe. That don't mean they don't belong in the tribe. That means that might not be your tribe, and you might need to either they might need to find somewhere else to go, or you might need to find somewhere else to go. We have to find groups in which we find agreement. Now, the beauty of what we're able to do in America is that we are able to select our tribe. Now, a lot of people say you can't select your family, but in some cases you can. But you can't select what we, in Gye-Nyame, we talk about, we selected our family. But anyway, in many cases, people believe you can't select a family and you were born into your family. But in America, because of what we went through as a group, we are able to select our tribes. We are able to build the tribes. Most people in the world, they're born in not only to their family, but they're born into their group. In America, we're able to create our tribes and build them, manage them, control them, expand them. But for some reason, we've been in denial of that. And because we've been in denial of that, because the family supports the tribe, but the tribe also supports and protects the family. Because if, I don't want to go too far, but CeeLo, the effects of this terroristic attack we continue to endure with no breaks, restrictions, or even an apology. Any comments? Anybody want to comment to that? We are constantly under attack. The terroristic attack. Now, I don't know. See, CeeLo, did you hear about the young girl getting shot in Columbus? What's your thoughts on that? You might need to call in about that. Anybody that saw the footage, anybody that know any information, like and share and get people up in here that could discuss this, because I want to have a conversation about that, because this is what's leading me to the subject of talking about our crazy. Right? Because I saw craziness. And I was able to smell craziness in it when I looked for the very first time. Who this? Who called? Who's this?
CeeLo. It's CeeLo.
Don't hit me with the sexy voice, baby. Don't do that.
Oh, no. I did see that about the young lady. I've seen a couple different versions of videos, body cam. Then they showed another one, I guess a street camera or whatever is out there.
Oh no! Oh, it's important. It's important people know what type of camera that was. That was the Ring camera across the street. So, family, please understand.
That was somebody's Ring camera.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Please understand that if we got that, when you got that type of stuff, everything is being watched. Everything. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So good. I didn't know that's what it was. I thought it was maybe the city had. They have cameras in different neighborhoods up on the poles. So that was somebody's Ring camera. Okay. Well, what I was trying to see was from the time that he arrived on the scene, it didn't seem as though, he should have, maybe whirled his siren or whatever and let them know that he was there. Because the account that I heard, the young lady actually is who called him. So, and had he got out, hit his siren a couple times and maybe got out and said, police, maybe they all would have stopped what they was doing. Why did he? And he shot her 4 or 5 times. If I'm
4 times.
Correctly.
4 times. Now,
what do you think to gun down a 14-year-old a 16-year-old like that?
Now, CeeLo, how was he to know she was a 14-year-old?
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
it's a young female.
Right now, okay,
female.
but a young female doing what? Because
she was fighting apparently.
No, she was beyond fighting. What was she doing, CeeLo? I mean, because this is part of what I'm talking. We got to be honest about this shit. What was she doing?
Well, they said what I heard, the way that they're reporting it is that she was lunging at another female with a knife.
Oh yeah, she hemmed her ass up and had the arm draw back to stab this woman.
Okay.
This is what now, and then also, as far as announcing this, what we saw from the wider angle was the police officer that actually did the shooting was either the second car or the third car on the scene. So they knew that the police was there. They knew that the police was there. Then when you look at the footage, you see the girl run out and push the first girl down in front of the police.
Yeah.
With a knife.
Yeah,
and
I still haven't been able to get a full assertion of
nobody has
who was doing what to who. I just feel like they just don't know any other way to police. And I say this to you because those years ago, remember the Kehoe brothers, Chevy and Chase Kehoe? Remember them?
Mm-mm.
They got pulled over on a traffic stop. White boys. They actually start shooting at the state troopers. The troopers didn't even start shooting at them. They had pulled them over. I think they had a warrant or expired tags or something. They actually had 2 shootouts. Go Google the Kehoe brothers in Ohio.
The Kehoe brothers.
2 shootouts with the police.
You said 2?
Yeah. Because they left the scene from that one. They shot at the cops, jumped in their car, and pulled away. They caught up with them in another location. They had 2 shootouts with the cops.
And
survived them both.
Right. Survived
them both. Had some limited jail time, and they are both walking free today.
Stop playing.
Oh no, the Kehoe brothers are both well and able, alive, and walking the streets today. They got very little, if any, time for shooting at the state troopers and the local cops. So I say that to say this. They seemingly can police in other ways without going to the top level of force when they're dealing with their own. I don't care what they're doing.
See, though, I'm gonna have to. I kind of have to. I hate disagreeing
They were
with
being
you.
shot at by these boys. And
I
they
understand.
knew their weapons.
I
They
hear
use
you.
all their weapons and shoot them 10 times.
Listen. So what would you be saying right now if well, hold on, let me finish. What would you be saying right now if he would have let that girl stab that woman on the car?
The little girl?
No, we don't even know it was a little girl. See, right now, we don't even know. Because one minute I'm hearing she grown, that woman on the car was grown. She had her hemmed up, she was about to stab that woman, right?
Yeah, I know, and no, and us dealing with our violence against each other in our communities is something else we need to deal with and talk about.
I think we need to deal with that first.
Why are we so violent with each other? Why are we why do we, why is black on black crime what it is? That's a whole nother issue. It really is. But it's not a response to what they do to us. A lot of people want to say, well, until black people start killing each other. Yeah.
Right.
Here.
I hear
that
you.
Still don't have nothing to do with what they do to us.
I mean, and I agree. But my major issue or my major concern about this one is that we cannot allow this event to be a defining moment for us.
Right, and I don't like the way that I think they're going to use this. They want to, say, oh, well, the police showed up. They saved this. They preserved, another life. And well, in the majority of these other situations where y'all just gunning down black folks, we're not talking about them preserving another life. So don't throw that up in front of us to present that. And if that was what was going on, they needed to intervene to preserve the life of that other young woman. Absolutely. I don't say that they shouldn't, but I just feel like when they show up and there's black faces involved, there is never any effort to de-escalate. In fact, if you look at the George Floyd video, they escalated that situation.
Oh yeah.
They got caught out there for a counterfeit $20 bill.
Right.
They shouldn't even have had their guns drawn. They had a gun in that man's face, instantly terrorizing him and scaring him.
Now,
why not just say, hey, you know what? You want to go in here and make restitution?
Hell no.
It was 2 other people in the car with him. Y'all want to go ahead and pay for this stuff? If not, okay, I'm going to write your citation. You need to work it out with him in court.
That means if they would have did that, if they did that, that means that humans have showed up on the scene.
And be on their way. There shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have never been put in handcuffs.
Right.
He should have never been apprehended for that.
Right. That means humans showed up.
That means wasn't anything to even arrest him for.
Now, George Floyd's piece. Now, because this is what I'm saying. George Floyd's piece. The violence that was executed on him for absolutely no reason is a reason to tear this motherfucker up. What happened here with the young girl is not.
Right, but what I'm saying to you is their response is always the same. Top level of force. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
What is it called when I continue to do something over again and I continue doing it in the same way? What do we call that? I'm expecting something different, but I continue doing the same thing.
Insanity?
Exactly.
Insanity?
When we call the police, we automatically, because I'm thinking that it's community known. I'm thinking that it's nationally known. When we call the police, there's a possibility of death. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
but you don't get that in the report. He don't get that there's a 14 or 16-year-old. All he getting is when he get out the car. See, and this is the key piece. She runs out in front of the police doing this shit. This is my piece. If you're gonna get down, get down. Don't wait for an audience. Get down. If you want to stop adults, if you want to stop a fight between young people, remove the audience. Remove the oxygen from the fire, and it will go out.
Yeah.
There was an audience. A performance was put on, and the end of the performance didn't get the result that possibly the actor was expecting.
Yeah, Yeah, and that's the thing. We why were these girls in foster care?
There we go.
That speaks to some other issues. What's going on there? Um,
And I think her father was there too. Her father,
really?
yeah. Somebody screamed, "You shot my baby." And I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? And if you look at the film closely, you'll see a man spending time kicking one of the women that she pushed down. Rather than grabbing to control her. There's so many things that we could be dealing with to deal with our own madness so that we could be prepared when these motherfuckers come into our community. But rather than, well, they shouldn't have. We know what they're going to do when they come in our community, especially in that time. We already know. So why act surprised?
We don't even need to have them. We don't even need to have them in our community. Back in the day, kids fought or whatever, but we didn't pull knives or guns on each other. We just fought, and everybody lived to see another day, and we went on about.
We have been joined by the Black Yoda. The Black Yoda's calling in. He probably gonna get me hyped up. We gonna be up for another 2 hours because I could hear him giggling. I can hear him.
No, no. I mean, I think what you and CeeLo were just saying in terms of, first of all, many of us don't recognize how crazy we are. Point number one. Point number two is that in the midst of crazy, to expect someone to act sane, that's borderline crazy in and of itself. And the point, one of my last points in is this is what the pain of it, the sorrow of it, is that there was just no fucking way to win.
None.
No way to win.
No healthy options.
Because in order to win, we would have had to start damn near 16 years ago.
That's I hear you. I really do. I just don't. I mean, it just seems like these last couple generations, they're being raised. They're being raised really. I don't know. The reason why I live where I live is when my daughter was 4 or 5, we lived in a different part of Columbus, and I would be on my front porch, and I would hear these little girls and little boys. The little girls seemed to actually be the worst, cussing and using words that I, as a grown woman, didn't even feel comfortable using. And they was racing up and down the streets in front of my house, cussing and fussing and acting like this. And these were, children under the age of 12.
Right.
And I said to myself, there is no way in the world Bonka are going to school in Columbus City. No way. And that is when I moved out to where I live in Columbus. And she went to Westerville City School. There is something really wrong because, like I said, the words these little girls was using and the way they was cussing and fussing at the little boys, and the little boys didn't even seem to be as aggressive as the girls even.
Hey, listen, I tell her, I be looking at these young men, I be like, actually, I had a conversation with 2 young ladies at the school, and I said, y'all so aggressive. I am so glad that I am not a young man and y'all. They are, is on the verge of manhood warrior shit when you dealing with some of these women. It's like, yo, whoa.
Yeah, where is all that masculine energy coming from? One of the phrases I hate to hear, "Oh, I'm a strong black woman." I hate to hear that. I really do. It's like these women are becoming so masculine. This masculine energy thing. I'm not down with it. I don't like it. I had to do what I had to do as far as raising my daughter after her father and I divorced. But at no point in time did I ever say I was her father. If you say Happy Father's Day to me or Happy on Father's Day, I might tell you off, really. I try to be nice about it, but I'm not her father. I'm not a man. I am a woman. I wanted to impart feminine energy to my daughter. Um, and that's the mantle. But we've got these kids, and like I said, the girls actually to me seem to be worse than the boys. Because a lot of the boys, I'm not sure they're getting this distorted masculine energy, and some of them are more passive than the girls.
Maybe a few months ago or whatever, Navita Hatem, Alumala, and Sugarfoot was on Blunt Talk talking about toxic masculine energy and toxic feminine energy. And I think some of what we're seeing, or at least I think, we were seeing, and at least it's come to my attention probably real strongly within the last 10 years or so. And within those 10 years, you literally had sisters hemming up other sisters, thinking they were going to rape a sister, hemming them up in the restrooms and crazy stuff like that. And of course, many of you are familiar with the feminine energy, coming out of a lot of our young brothers these days. And so you asked the question, CeeLo, quote unquote, where is this coming from? And I mean, I can't give no answers. I mean, of course I read and I hear things, but you got me.
Well, no, it's easy. I mean, it's kind of
part of it's a socialization piece, but
there you go. I mean, think about it. It's easy to identify where it comes from. If our kids are spending 8 hours in a certain place, let's say 6 hours a day in a certain place, and they're doing certain things, we can see where this is coming from. And then on top of that, you have a warped sense of masculinity and femininity in the household. We know where it's coming from. We just don't want to deal with it. We don't have to deal with it, right? Because the whole piece is because, like, for example, who raising them? Who raising them? Now, and I know some people gonna be like, well, you see, you blaming it on the mother. But who is raising them? It ain't just the mother no more. Our children are being raised or have been being raised for the last 10 to 15 years by the internet as well. And they go to schools every goddamn day that are not designed to teach them how to serve their community. Because if the schools were really there to help us learn to serve ourselves, we definitely will be dealing with what masculine energy is, what feminine energy is, and how it helps build up a healthy society. Right now, everything is equal. No. Masculine energy and feminine energy serves different purposes. If I put masculine energy on a feminine assignment, that masculine energy is going to destroy it. If I put feminine energy where masculine energy is required, it's going to mess it up. You got to know where this shit go. And that's part of nation building. That's part of tribe building. So we know where this shit is coming from. It's coming from the institutions that surround us. And it has always been black institutions or tribes, in a sense, that support the families in how they raise them. What tribes are now supporting our families? Hell, we can even go to some of the churches that our kids go to now. These churches are no longer, in many cases, are not even talking about what type of person you're supposed to be. It's talking about how much money you're supposed to get and how much you're supposed to pay. So we know where it's coming from. These kids are not just being materialized and coming in here bad, like or coming in with some of these attitudes. They're picking that shit up from us. And when they're reflected on us, we get insulted.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. If you are a female raising your children by yourself, and you're putting that we don't need no man energy out there, and you're putting this I'm a strong black woman energy out there, and you don't listen to nobody, and you don't respect nobody, you don't even have respect for yourself in the way that a lot of people dress, act, talk, present themselves, and it's like, what are these girls supposed to get?
Mm.
You know,
Hell,
they
what a
don't. They're not being taught how to, how to be respectful,
right.
how to be even of them, like I said, even of themselves. You listen to this, these Cardi B's and what's the other one's name, Megan Thee Stallion, and what's the other one, Lizzo, and all that. They are disgusting to me. And these are the role models that our girls are getting.
Hey.
Nobody saying to me, wait, well, you might need to be. It should be a shame to be a slut. I mean,
hey.
It's like, none of this is wrong. If you say these things are wrong, you're the wrong person.
Right.
If you say that, this distortion of, gender and all these things, if you say them wrong, that it's wrong, you're the one that's demonized.
Right. I mean, this is why I wanted to have this conversation on the air, because part of the issue is because I feel the way I feel. Everybody's you allowed to feel, but because the way I feel, I will be demonized for this. I already knew I'm going to lose friends on this one. I don't even give a shit. But then also, I want to go back to the point that you made, Sister CeeLo. Check this out. If you think that energy is crazy on girls, you ought to see what that energy does to some boys. What
Little Nas X?
Hey, really? Think about this. What happens to a young man when the strongest figure, the most masculine figure that he sees in his life is feminine? The strongest thing in his life, every time he get in trouble, who shows up? Who's the savior?
Yep.
I'm going to emulate the most powerful being in my life. Hence.
Yeah.
Do I need to go any farther, family?
Yeah. The boys want to be girls. The girls don't want no man. And, yeah, it's absolutely insane. And to your earlier point, there is so much mental illness that's unaddressed in the Black community. It really is. I'm talking serious psychoses and mental disorders, that are not being addressed. We still have a lot of stigma around people having mental health issues within the Black community. And going to get help still isn't normalized.
Right.
So a lot of these issues go unaddressed, and like any illness, mental illness as well, it exacerbates, metastasizes, and begins to be cancerous throughout the body, and the life and the community.
And it starts, and because like the family, how can the individual is a cell in the family. So I mean, just like all diseases start in a single cell and it moves out to the rest. And the family is a cell within the tribe, and the tribe is a cell within the community. So what happens, you know what I'm saying? Sister Gloria said a long time ago, when people start quoting that, it takes a village to raise a child. She said, well, what about if the motherfucking village is sick?
Mm-hmm.
We got sick villages raising sick children. We don't want to admit that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because in the midst of all this, I can understand. But in the midst of all this, we have to be bold enough to be honest. That's all I'm saying. I look at that shit and I'm sitting up here like, well, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like the police. So I'm sitting up here, but that motherfucker was put in a position where he could, like Kwame said, he couldn't win unless he started 16 years ago. He needed a time machine so that he could go back and he could start doing something with them, or somebody could start doing something with them families, because those shots were the end of a timeline that was sparked in our community over 16 years. Even actually, we could take it back possibly to the age, to her grandparents. So it's much longer than going back 16 years. Because something happened to her mother and her father that she ended up in there. Because I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this. It was more important for the father to put his foot on another black woman than it was for him to get control of his daughter.
In the presence of police officers.
In the presence of the beast. That's like waving. That's like walking into a lion's cage with a bloody stake taped to your ass. Come on, family.
Yeah.
We know what
So
that's why we call him the beast.
Trying to contain his daughter instead of doing that.
That's why we call him the beast. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'd like to compliment what we're saying. So I'm coming from another perspective. I shared with you that I've been with Charlotte for over 30 years now.
Let's give Charlotte a hand, y'all. Let's give Charlotte a hand.
Hold on. Yeah, because she had to deal with she had to deal with all this logic all the goddamn time. Can you imagine being mad at this man?
No.
Can you imagine being mad at this man?
But this is part of my story, because in trying to heal, we have to lift up examples that have worked. And so I'm sharing my story. I've been with this sister over 30 years. We've been married for the last 20. That means 10 of those years we were not married. Now, when I disappeared from the scene, that's those part of those 10 years that we had been together, but quote unquote not together in a manner of speaking, because I was not well enough to be together. Dealing with health issues and different things of that nature. Nonetheless, this sister started, or she at least entertained me back. I guess I met her around 90. It's almost been about 90. Yeah, around 90. Excuse me. So we dated, and I wasn't in any mindset of wanting to settle down as such. I don't mind dating one sister, but I wasn't thinking marriage or anything. And she hung in there with me. But one of the first things that was the closer on me and Charlotte getting married was, so we had our house on what's that street I used to live on in Kimball Place. So that's right off of Livingston, over there by where APDS is now.
Right.
So we had our place there, and my nieces, I had a couple of nieces who came over, and I came downstairs and I heard them talking. And I was like, could you read that to me again? And they read me this story they wrote up, and I was like, but hold up. I said, there's no marriage in your story? You got these men, and they your man, and, it seemed like y'all living together and stuff, and then I had to check myself, because I said, well, look at you, nigga. What are you doing? So that was the first point. Second point was, I could not deal with part of it. Let me say this. I lost my mother at a young age due to a horrible, she was shot to death by my father.
I hear you, bro.
Did we lose Kwame?
Nah, he going. That's that was for him. That he's moved right now.
Rough.
Right. Okay. I'm with you, bro. We listening. Okay. So he may call back in, but family, it takes. Like I said, this is part of us dealing with our crazy.
Right. That's trauma, man. That's trauma.
I mean, and it rolls deep in our family. It's generational in some cases, but in order for us to heal it, we have to expose it to the light.
And you misread my earlier comment. I said the effects of the terroristic attack we continue to endure with no break, restitution, or even apology. And by restitution, I mean everything from, reparations, but also, there is nothing done to repair all the damage and the things that they've torn down in the Black community. From our spirit to our mind, for our souls, to Kwame's point, those traumas and those things that happen in our families and in our lives, those without question interrupt the trajectory of our development. Without question. And
it's some it's some traditions that we allow to escape. Like he was getting to, like, setting the model for the marriage and shit. We've been convinced that that's, in a sense, I mean, because I'm one of the ones that say it, but it's kind of old fashioned. We really don't need to get married. It don't do nothing.
Oh, no.
We together.
I'm here. I'm in Florida here right now.
What you doing in Florida? That ain't where you told us you was.
I told you last week when I was going down.
I ain't know you was going for an extended vacation.
My nephew was getting married. My niece, I hadn't seen my grandniece in a minute. But, that's what I was just telling them. These are young couples. Her other sister got married the year before. Her brother got married last week. Her and Kenny are married. They got their first daughter here. And I told him, I said, I will always come down here to see y'all. Because basically, on my side, I'm kind of their matriarch that's left, pretty much. But overall, I'm always going to support and build up this Black love, these Black families that they're starting here.
What part of Florida?
They're near Orlando. This niece, and her husband's house is near Orlando. Clearmont, I think it's called.
Okay. My people from Kissimmee.
The wedding was down in Clearwater. So
right.
Kissimmee, yeah, it's very close to Kissimmee because she actually works for Disney. She's been with Disney 15 years. Yeah. So yeah, she's very near Kissimmee. Yep. And but that's what I told T, because I didn't come down when T got married. Her younger sister, but they just had basically a private went down to the courthouse type of thing,
Right.
But I brought her a gift as well. I gave them all some checks, whatever I could do, decent wise, And she was like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that." I said, "Yes, I do. I want you all to know that y'all doing the right thing. Y'all on the right path. These are Black. This is Black love. This is Black family. This is what we need. This is what we need to support, because we didn't have this start that they had. Their mom had my niece, the oldest one, when she was 16 years old.
Right.
And I mean, so, they're getting their degrees. They're starting their families. They're doing things that they're doing the way that we need to be perpetuating. Her and her husband are now looking to get some investment property.
Right.
So I'm here to encourage and support and love on y'all.
But Brother Kwame is back. Brother Kwame.
No, but and again, this is what I think we need more of. We have to share the successes we're having.
Right.
Yes, we damn sure need to deal with the sickness, but after we've addressed, and I use that word loosely, after we've introduced the sicknesses into the conversation, we need to inject the successes so that people at least have an example of what something that works looks like. I mean, I started I started with
Yes.
was
Hold
that
on,
Go ahead,
Kwame.
Kwame. I said no. Black Mental Health Festival. Put a pin in that. Go ahead, Kwame.
I know that's right. And so I started with Marion, Ohio, where my mother was shot to death by my father. I saw a lot of sickness in Marion, Ohio. And of course, as how Tim often brings up, the idea is to quote unquote escape. So I escape and go off to Oberlin College. And what I learned at Oberlin College was that whereas in Marion, I may have thought there was a bunch of ignorant brothers and sisters running around. At Oberlin, I thought there were some really highly intelligent, ignorant brothers and sisters running around. So that opened my eyes to something, though. And if I might be brief about it, I said nigga shit is nigga shit. All right, so get out of Oberlin. Come into the African Center for Study and Worship, and I needed to be around some strong brothers, and so for that, the African Center for Study and Worship was ideal for me. Doing some things in the African Center, and I meet Charlotte. With Sister Ayana or Dr. Ann, me doing the Saturday, the Sister Patricia Williams Shule School out of the African Center, Charlotte would join in to assist and things of that nature. But to try to speed through this a little bit, I introduced the story about my nieces and nephews talking about their relationships, and no hint of marriage or anything like that in there. It's something that stabilizes, that helps to stabilize us. But the second part, how do we get that stability? Because in my book, because my parents had the instability in their lives, I looked to Charlotte's parents to see what their relationship looked like, to see if Charlotte would be marriable material. Now, I know a lot of folks don't, they don't believe in that. They think, if my heart is so moved, then that's what I act on. That wasn't my way of thinking. My way of thinking was that if I'm going to unite with somebody, I will have to meet their family, and they will have to meet mine. Our families will have to come together so that we can get a feel for how each other vibes. And based on that, that's helped to add the stability for both me and Charlotte. And I mean, to this day, Charlotte is still the most beautiful person I've ever known. And I've known some beautiful people. And yes, Sheila, you were exactly right.
And those are the things, when we're talking about different things like rites of passage and things that we're teaching, we're not teaching our children that, marriage is actually a unity of families. And that's part of nation building. It is part of nation building.
Absolutely.
It's not just about, this girl is cute, never touch a big butt and smile,
That's what it's supposed to be. Now, somewhere along the lines, we lost that. In our crazy, we lost that.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to be clear about that, because a lot of people don't understand that like you said, you talking about, I thought it was just me coming together with the big booty. You know what I'm saying? And being locked in legally and having legal problems and shit. What you talking about is something that might be foreign to a lot of people we're talking about. So can you repeat what marriage is for again?
It's supposed to be the coming together of families, and and it should bring something that the whole is the greater part, of the sum. So, what are you bringing? And to your point, Kwame, A lot of us have not been modeled properly of what a healthy relationship is, a nurturing relationship is, building together and cooperating together. It should be something that brings about, not just children, but also, businesses and the family should be the center hub for all that.
Right.
And building and bringing out, for our children, teaching our children to bring out what's in them. That's education.
Right. And, and going in hand with what you were just saying, CeeLo, because I was sitting here even as you were talking, and I was like, now, for me, I was always a person who observed and tried to learn from what I was seeing rather than having to experience it for myself. And so, to borrow Hatim's word, I saw a lot of suckering. But also, Grandma introduced me to soap operas. And the one thing I learned from watching soap operas when I was a little kid with Grandma was if ever my life started to look like a soap opera, I know I've gone horribly wrong.
But that seems to be the model. That seems to be the model.
Yes.
All these reality shows.
That's exactly it, CeeLo. It's become a model. If people don't feel like they got the right kind of drama going on in their lives, they'll create it.
Right.
They'll create it.
Because now, hold on.
Figure out how to get it.
This goes towards that attention piece, that getting other people's attention. So a lot of people are getting together to get other people's attention. I'm marrying this woman or I'm marrying this man to get other people's attention, rather than what this individual can do for me or do for our group. You know what I'm saying?
But our young women are taught to attention seek in
Right.
all the wrong ways.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All the wrong ways.
Not only them, it's the young men too. The young men too.
Yeah.
And we're seeking the wrong. We're seeking. All of us are seeking the wrong shit. All of us.
Has I seen that new Little Nas X video?
Nah, I ain't. No.
Well, Kwame, have you heard anything about it?
No.
Oh my God. Well,
I heard about it, but I didn't want. I haven't moved to see it because.
Well, you have to see it just because of the visuals and the symbolism and everything that he's doing in there is just so depraved. So it's like, how did you get here, young man? He came out. He had his first little hit, but then he came out and said that he was gay, and the prologue to this video, he reads an excerpt from a letter or a diary entry or something that he wrote to himself about, we're never going to come out. We're going to keep this secret and take it to our grave as far as being gay or whatever. But now he's decided to come out of the closet, as they say. And I mean, he's so far out the closet. He's outside the house, down the street, and in another country. It's just unbelievable. He gives the devil literally a lap dance. He's all the different characters. And then after he finishes giving the devil a lap dance, and it's very graphic, very, very portrayed. You can see it. It's not implied. It's there. And then he snaps the devil's neck and takes the devil's horns, and it's just unfreaking believable. But his mother is not really in his life. His mother's has drug addiction issues, but his father had to come out and say, "Oh, I'm very proud of my son." Blah blah blah. Had he said otherwise, even if he thinks or feels otherwise, they would have demonized.
They would have demonized
for not supporting his gay son.
Right.
Yeah. It's like you're not allowed to have an opposite opinion of this not being the norm. Even if they would have crucified him literally in the court of public opinion. So, but yeah, what is being modeled? And when you see these young women, the way that they attention seek and present themselves, and it's just like
Unbelievable.
wow.
Unbelievable.
It is just, it is. It's so unbelievable. But then, when I see some of them, and then I see their mom, I'm like, oh, never
And
mind.
I now understand. Sherzad Ali said something, and I heard Karas once say it years ago. He said there used to be a way that you used to be able to tell a woman from a whore by the way they dress. He said nowadays, nowadays, you can't tell. You know what I'm saying? Just the way, it was just, the energy that we're giving off is so,
right.
Everything is okay. And what people don't understand, what people don't really understand is that you can't build shit if everything is a go.
Right. But if you say anything about it, oh, you're slut shaming her, or you're body shaming her, or you're... No, I'm saying that, I always was taught there's a difference between a lady and a woman.
Right.
And I've always told my daughter I want her to be ladylike, because anybody can be a woman, if you're biologically born to be one, but being a lady is a different thing.
In order to nation build, and people gonna get mad at this too, because you need shame, blame, and guilt. Europe colonized the whole world using shame, blame, and guilt.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So now they're making it illegal for anybody else to, in a sense, weaponize that shit, because everything's a go. You can do whatever you want. You can become as weak as you want now that we conquered you. But don't turn around and try to use this shit to build yourself up, because, there's no standard. And if you hold anybody to a standard, guess what? You're wrong. You're shaming. You're playing the guilt card, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no. There's standards. You know what I'm saying? There's standards, and the most important part about the standards is that the people have to set those rather than meeting other people's standards. But anyway, I'm sorry. My thought. Just a hot Tim thought. Hot Tim thought.
That's for real.
This picture from. But yeah, it's I don't have a problem with those things, But even in our community, we used to have those standards. You were going to be ostracized. You were going to be treated a certain way if you were operating outside of acceptable parameters.
Right. And some people operated within those, and other people decided to operate outside of those. But there was always a choice involved. Nowadays, people aren't bold enough. Don't want to make those choices. I shouldn't have to choose.
And what becomes difficult, really difficult, is when we have to. There's this kind of built-in assumption that everyone has common sense. And what seems as common sense today, or what is ordained as common sense today, is really it's an anomaly.
Yeah.
Common sense anymore is an anomaly.
You said it's a what? Anomaly?
Yeah.
Maybe it always was. Because maybe what we call it common sense is not common sense. Maybe it's something that came and was basically in the cultural software. We have a virus in our cultural software. So anything that we hold in common might be detrimental to us at this point in time. You understand what I'm saying?
It's part of the sickness. Yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of shit we embrace.
It made me think of your piece. It was one of your recent pieces on
Folktales.
5 to 7 minutes. No, it was a 5 to 7 minute journey.
Oh, you talking about GYP? Give yourself permission. It's only been 5 of them.
Yeah, give yourself permission.
Let me help you out.
Talking about basically doing a reinstall or something.
Give yourself permission to update and hold on. Where is it at? Reboot and reprogram. Give yourself permission to reboot and reprogram because, thank you, baby, because some of the stuff that we dealing with is absolutely insane. Yeah, this is my daughter don't want me to put him on the list yet, so I won't do that. You got older sisters, I keep telling y'all. So go on about your business. Talking to the babies, I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh, she looked at me and said, "This is going to be my business." She already threatening to take the show from me. I ain't scared of you, little girl. I got at least another 30 years. But being able to, and cause in a sense, who was saying that last week? Sister Tiandra was talking about, I'm a supercomputer and I'm programming rapidly. You know what I'm saying? And really, we are. And we have to be bold enough to start rewriting some of these programs because they are not working. Like our program for relationships and just chilling. You know what I'm saying, ladies? If some of these brothers are not talking to you about marriage, you might need to reconsider fucking with them. Because any man that would just leave you with a child is not a man worthy of you. He's not willing to protect you. You don't need to be dealing with him. If he's not talking to you about y'all coming together and forming the business called y'all life, you don't need to be fucking with him. Same thing with some of you gentlemen, because some of these women are very aggressive. If they're not talking real talk with you, we have to be serious, and we have to start in a sense, because Kwame, do you know that our people were so cruel that possibly certain people wasn't allowed to repopulate the earth? I mean, am I wrong?
No.
It was certain people deemed unworthy to propagate their offspring, and the whole village or the whole nation, you would not be allowed to do it. You didn't prove yourself.
Right.
Now, everybody can just go on and have a baby.
Yeah.
And in many cases, we have made having a child outside of marriage rites of passage type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's normal. Right. That shit is normal. That shit is normal. My dad did it. My grandfather did it. So, hey, I could do it.
I want to quantify something, qualify something. When we talk about sisters being aggressive, part of that is their natural instinct. Now, if I use mythology to express my point, I'm talking about that Sekhmet.
Hell yeah.
And it's necessary.
Yes, it is.
However, there is a time and a place for that. And what we're seeing, again, it's out of time and out of place. And so that's when just for us to be clear, because anyway, that's beside the point.
No, actually, it's not beside the point of Gye-Nyame journey, because we constantly talk about wisdom mining. What you giving them is a place to go and look at it and understand why, because it's like it's a reason why men do war and women don't. And that story of Sekhmet demonstrates why women wasn't put on the battlefield. Not because they couldn't do it. See, that's what a lot of people think. No, it's they just don't stop.
Look, bro, I have to constantly bring up in my study with the meta nature, it allows me a different kind of insight than what I had been getting before, quote unquote, reading it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when you start talking about the ones you wanted to kick ass, you weren't really talking about someone like Seth. I mean, they had sisters who called themselves basically the sister who smashes
skulls,
people's heads, man.
Smashes skulls.
Right. I mean, these are just some of the more mild ones. But my point being is that there is a time and a place for that.
Right. And that's but that energy, how can I put it? Because one of the things that's missing is the idea of duty, the duty of manhood, the duty of womanhood, the duty of marriage, the duty and responsibilities to your family and to your tribe. See, all these all these, and the reason that we can see it collapse is because all that duty is being I'm looking for a certain word, mercenaried out. It's being sold outward. Because we got duty to our job. We got duty to our education. We got duty to the white world. And all that shit we're mercenary. We're mercenaries.
It's literally usurping the duty that you're supposed to have to the propagation of your culture.
That's right. Because all that energy is going outwards. And this is what people don't really understand. So then when I look at what happened with their sisters, it's not that I'm mad at the brother, because the brother was doing what he taught. Like you said, this was some shit that happened 16 years ago. And if we even look at that, it happened much longer than 16 years ago, because something developed him to where he could be at the state and be comfortable doing what he's doing. And if that's her father, what happened? So I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at the image of manhood or what is being propagated as manhood for us. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna support my daughter in this fight rather than grab her ass up and get everybody away from the house and find another way. We got to find another way to handle this, because this is not healthy for you. What's up, baby?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, well, not at the end of the day, but at some part of the day, one has to ask myself, or at least I have to ask myself the question, is it going to make me feel better to kick a sister when she's down, or to possibly save my daughter's life? Now, the natural father responsibility would be to save his baby's life. That would be the natural instinct.
Now, Kwame, take into account that maybe he didn't even think that his daughter's life was in jeopardy, because maybe he had been living in an illusion for a very long time as well. He was one of those bet not niggas. You know what I'm saying? We know those bet not niggas. You know what I'm saying? That they bet not. And if they was, I would type. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of people living in illusions. They have really never really been in some real shit, and have been able to wear the clothing and act the role of this thug. Because I'm telling you right now, family, if we had as many gangsters in our community as if you go out here and you look, if we had that many gangsters,
man, please.
Come on now. All of y'all can't be you know what I'm saying? You ain't never walk in a room full of motherfuckers that was supposed to be top the top hood dude. I'm the connect. I'm the thuggest thug and shit. And never wonder, well, if all of y'all supposedly, because I don't believe in the alpha male, but if all of y'all are alphas, why y'all motherfuckers able to sit in here quietly and not just in you? You know what I'm saying? Who is the top?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All of y'all can't be kings. Don't work like that. Everybody can't be kings. That's part of the confusion of us. And historically, when we would say shit they used to say to me, and I stopped saying that shit. We all come from kings and queens. No, we don't. Huh?
Mm-mm.
No, we don't.
Mm-mm.
Family, no. You need, and if you're saying that shit, you need to stop saying it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know. I don't know. I got a compliment at one point referring to me as a king, and I kindly, well, basically, I just phrased it this way. I said, the only reason I could feign like I'm a king is because I've been around royalty like you.
That's dope. Reversed it back on him. That's dope. That's dope. Let's give Kwame a round of applause for that shit.
I don't pretend to be a king. If anything, I might be referred to as a kind of, I don't know, what we call them. I'm not sure what we call, maybe, in Kemetic speak, they refer to him as a kind of,
Vizier?
maybe a little better than no, and that, the story of the eloquent peasant.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to put me in that category.
An elegant peasant? Nah.
The eloquent.
I know what story you talking about. Nah. I don't think he would have been a peasant, homie. He wasn't a peasant either, but anyway.
No, I mean, clearly, he had means. But
hell yeah.
That,
he was talking before the Pharaoh. They ain't just letting anybody,
right.
Motherfuckers don't, people that don't understand the politics. Talking to a Pharaoh is like, you know what I'm saying, getting to the president of the United States. You don't just eat.
Well, part of it is that they basically one of the habits of the so-called vizier was to hear cases at all levels, and before you get to the vizier as such, you may have to go through quote-unquote lower courts, in a manner of speaking. And so once he had been heard in the lower court, he got fed up to go right before the vizier. And so, and he was so impressed by what would have been referred to as a commoner, a nedges, that, he was like, well, damn. But I want to tie another idea in here. In Ptah-hotep, many of us have come across that, trying to think of how it goes. It says that it talks about good speech being found among the maidens at the grindstone.
Right.
But it starts off with take counsel with the wives as well as the fool, basically. And of course, with that, I think you know what that means. You can learn from a fool.
Right.
It's nothing more than what not to do.
Right.
But this so-called eloquent peasant was the one who was an example of quote unquote the sister at the grindstone, because he was considered a commoner,
Right.
But as a commoner, he had Mott so instilled in his walk, in his talk, and how he rolled, that he stood out because just like the talk we're having now, we find ourselves like, damn, is there anyone who I can talk with in a sensible manner? Because some of the stuff I'm hearing, I don't know if the people I'm talking with have good sense. And so, in other words, when that so-called common sense becomes an anomaly, when you hear someone with good sense, you're like, damn, look, bro, you need to give that delivery again.
Oh.
Come over to your boy, right?
Right. Hey, listen.
Because you want to make sure everybody gets a chance.
Right. I feel you.
What good sense sounds like.
Right. So I stand corrected. All right. He was a commoner, but he had good sense. He had a grasp. He had a true grasp and connection with the culture. Is that what it is? A good grasp and connection with the culture.
I want to start with the fact that even though I'm referring to him as a commoner, as you pointed out, the sense that he displayed was not so common. And so, was he a commoner indeed? That's just a paradox for the day.
There you go, y'all. He couldn't let it go. He had us rolling. He couldn't just let it. But anyway, but family, I want to thank you.
Understand the role, one of the many roles that a brother played. He wasn't trying to be any more than he was. He wasn't trying to be any less than he was.
Word.
He stood on what he understood the principle of Ma'at to be.
Right. And that's a beautiful thing, is it not?
Exactly.
That's what we missing. That's sort of what we missing now. This is what we keep on talking about, this whole cultural piece, because it's like we are operating up under somebody else's culture, and we don't even realize that it's not even good for us until we're sitting up here witnessing what we witnessed on these cameras with this young lady. Don't even realize it. And even the people that's involved still don't realize it. And even the people that's commenting on Facebook and Instagram don't even understand or don't even see that what part of that element is. Disconnection. Ask you the question like I asked the question at the end of the show on Blood Talk, is where was that girl's tribe at? And then I say, oh, there they are. Yeah. She was just so. But family, I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for tuning in. I especially want to thank Sister CeeLo and Brother Kwame for calling in and making this a true Toast and Talk Kuumba.
Yes, sir.
I need to remind you that you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I'm your host, Brother Hatim. And we got Brother Kwame. Brother Kwame, you got any final words for him before we get up out of here?
Man, my heart's heavy. My mind is weighed down. But together. Whereas I think, I forget if it was biblical or what, but we said, my brothers and my sisters, let us come and reason together. It doesn't mean to leave your emotions at home. It means that your emotions, feel them, but balance them out with your intellect. One love.
Of course, you know this is a Heart of a Simba production, all day, air day. Well, we strive to blow up your old paradigms.